All-Star Batman, issue 4, written by Scott Snyder and art by John Romita Jr., and then Declan Shalvey on the backup. I'm kind of struggling here, guys.
Yeah,
I'm
if
gonna
you're
go out on a limb,
struggling,
and
then
I'm quite enjoying it still.
Of course you
Do
are.
you know what? No, do you know what the thing is? Duke's really growing on me, and that's carrying a lot of this book for me right now.
now is
Okay.
that from the backup or is this from his
No,
actions
from
in
the
main
from
story?
the from the main story as well.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't feel that at all. Like the longer this goes, the more I'm just like, why? Like, what is going on here? It feels kind of like a mess. So
Do you know what? I kind of agree with that. Like, I feel like it just doesn't feel connected, or
yeah,
it's very disjointed. But one of my problems early on in this book were, right, now we all know Batman has gadgets on his suit and he has little get out of jail free cards and all the rest of it, right? I'm
thank you,
sorry,
Pete.
but there's there's something about random squares on his chest just flying out as a projectile that just feels super goofy to me.
Well, and it's like, look, I get that he has gadgets, but so what you're telling me his suit is completely wired now? Like, because there's speakers later that come from that spot on his pet shield.
I'd buy that his shield bit is speakered up. You know, like not necessarily just speakered, but like wired up to things. If there's
Yeah,
going to be
see,
an area,
see, I just don't.
I don't
It's
know.
just adding stuff to the suit where I'm just like this. It started off as a ninja thing, right? Like
Yeah.
he's got to move quickly. Now you're turning it into Iron Man armor. You know?
Yeah,
it's not quite that bad, though,
except
is it?
except it's not as clunky, which makes it the most like the best feat in like engineering the world's ever seen.
Yeah.
Fitting so much crap. Which don't get me wrong, it's always been kind of a thing where you have to suspend your disbelief and say that Batman has this much stuff on him. But I just random squares of his chest start flying out, and I'm just like, I don't know, this feels a bit weird. And
It's one thing in like the Nolan movies where his, the gauntlet things fly out. Like when they in Dark
Yeah.
Knight.
yeah.
So,
But those are clearly parts that move. Like you can see them. Whereas this is like, no, this is just part of his chest that just. Oh, by the way, this is a square that pops out now. Like it
Yeah.
feels extra goofy. I don't have a problem so much with the bat sonar because that obviously is something that.
well, that makes sense. But the one thing this did was made me want to read a Soul Daredevil book. Like him fighting with the sonar and with JR, it was very, very reminiscent of what was that Daredevil thing that he worked on with Miller, Man Without Fear.
Yeah.
Like I was getting shades of that.
You know, like I'm cool with him having bat sonar, but I do have to question like how can he see it? Like the whole thing is he's blind right now, right? So he uses the bat sonar to see, but in my understanding, the way it always worked before, certainly in Dark Knight the movie, is that he sees it in front of him because it's
Yeah.
being displayed to him. So here it's like just linked into his head. It's like
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
And this is where I get that it's a mess because this is even different than the first issue that we got, where the first issue felt very much like Snyder just ported over his Dick Grayson story to Bruce Wayne and kept going. Here now it just feels disconnected even from that. And again, he's just writing himself out of jams with, bat sonar and just like, well, don't worry about that. That's not important. But it kind of is because that's how he takes down the Talons, which we've seen like one gave him trouble years and years ago, right?
yeah, that's
And
the
now
other
he's
thing.
taking down 3 while blind, and it's just like, okay, cool.
Yeah, and Two-Face has a group of Talons under his command.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm going to agree with most of these complaints. Definitely the thing about how is he seeing the echolocation.
Yeah.
I'm not too fussed about the squares. That personally doesn't bother me. The talons, though. Yeah, why does he just have them? That bit was a bit weird.
Yeah. Like Matt said though, it feels like it feels like Snyder keeps writing himself into these really weird corners and then just writing a magic bat gadget that'll get him out of it. Which for me
Yeah.
is not as fun because it does feel very like this. Me and Matt had a huge argument last week about because Batman and I argued against it tooth and nail This to me is because Batman.
Yeah. And see, to me, this doesn't sting as much as King, because I expected more from the Bane stuff. Here, I'm just like, okay, I'm not enjoying this book anyways. Oh, now you're doing stuff I really don't like. All right, well, next page.
Thing is,
Next
I'm not
page.
going to argue. This is because Batman. Even like I'm enjoying this book more than you guys, and I'm still agreeing with you on that. But it's the Duke stuff that I had a lot of fun with. So it's like, okay.
Well, I like that he plugs in the metal or whatever music it is, and that's what they use to fight the Talons. But we get to the KGB or KG Beast or the Beast, whatever the hell his name is, has a riverboat lair and enough money clearly to own a private island that he's terraformed. Like, didn't we see him getting broken out of prison in the beginning of this? Or am I muddling up two characters?
No, I think you're mixing something up here. Yeah, I don't remember that.
Anyways, it doesn't change the point, but
the Talons is a bit weird because isn't the whole reason that they got defeated in the first place, back in Court of Owls, the cold? Wasn't that their entire thing that they made it cold? Yeah. So Two-Face's master plan is, I'm gonna make it cold. Seems a bit, come on. Bit smarter than that.
Yeah. Unless this is like Snyder's gonna reveal that Harvey's in control, and all of these things he's set up in order to thwart Two-Face. Which, if he does that, I'm just gonna be not angry, but like
it'll just be convoluted if that's the case.
Yeah,
it will.
Nothing's adding up because we get that here when Batman's in the riverboat lair, pinned up to a wall, and the crime bosses show up with Penguin, and they have their stuff, which is from Harvey, not from Two-Face, about how Harvey did put in a plan to stop Two-Face in case this ever happened. And I'm just like, again, the whole Miles 2 thing is kind of lost now.
I'll agree with that.
Because at one point it's after we do the whole plane thing where Duke and Batman are on the plane, and KG Beast just lands in the plane from another one, and it says Miles travelled 407. I'm like, but they've went back and forth. We're going back the way, and now, was this number lower than the last one because they've went back, or is it higher?
Yeah, and wherever this lair is, it's close enough to Gotham that Penguin and Black Mask and Great White got there fairly quickly. So it's just this thing's a convoluted mess. It is living up to the All-Star name, I guess, of Batman. So and I expect more out of Snyder. I almost feel like he just needs to take a break from DC.
I mean, he just needs a break from Batman.
I think
or Batman.
Yeah, a break from Batman, or even just a break from superheroes. Do some horror. Joe, what he could do, Gotham by Midnight. He'd be really good to do that. Give him that book. Give him the paranormal investigator in Gotham book. I think he would really, really do well with that.
Yeah, and you can kind of bring his brand of vampire to Gotham for an arc. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, be fun.
Or even werewolves, whatever. I'd read that.
Yeah. And again, I still feel like the dialogue from Batman feels not like Batman.
No, it's very Miller-esque.
Yeah, I was having that.
It feels unearned.
Yeah, I'm trying. There was one that really bothered me. I'm trying to find it to see if I can be specific about it, but nah, I don't know. I feel like I'm liking this less and less each issue, and it's a real shame.
The thing is, I agree with most you can play, and it is on the lower end of my pile, but I'm having enough fun with it that I'm all right with it. Whereas you two clearly aren't.
When I see it show up in my pull list, I go, oh yeah. Why do I still get this?
That said, I'm going to see it out because there's this weird thing where it's Scott Snyder and it's Batman, so I kind of have to keep going, but...
Well, and we have the next arc is by Jock too, right?
Yeah, the arc's going to be a much bigger thing.
And we've got backups by all the different people.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to.
So I'm going to hang on. I just not going to enjoy...
How many have we got with Ramita? Is it 5 or 6?
6, I think.
I think it's 6. Yeah.
Right, okay.
And I think that was to give Jock enough time.
Yeah. It's not exactly the fastest, is he?
No. But it looks great when it comes through.
It does.
So
It does. I'm not. Yeah, you're not going to complain.
But yeah. But yeah, and I still am not reading the backup, so I'll let you guys. I thumbed through this time and saw Zaz looking all jacked up, but it was like, not what I was picturing, you know?
Yeah, Zaz is a little bit too jacked up, but
Yeah.
it's basically just catching Zaz and Batman telling Duke, "Oh, you've got your next part of your lesson coming next."
Yeah.
Nice.
It comes to like a personal realization, doesn't it? And it's like, okay,
Yeah.
so he's accepted this. Now he can move on to the next thing.
Yeah, Duke decides that no, he doesn't want his parents moved. He wants them to stay there because even though they're acting crazy, he sees the love behind them. He sees it in them.
Yeah.
Which that's fine. Yeah, backup's fine. It's not annoying me like the main story. I'll give it that much. So
I might read it once it's all collected. I'll probably give it a read.
Yeah.
So.